Good morning, everybody. Hi, happy Sunday, May 31st. I hope you can get signed on this morning and join us. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Let me make sure I have pulled up what I need pulled up here. There's Aurelia. Hi. As you jump on, please say hi in the comments. Hey, Lyle. While we're waiting, I'll show you. Look at these huge flowers. That's as big as my face, right? Look at that. Heather and I celebrated our 14-year wedding anniversary, and those flowers were part of the celebration. Hey, Emily and Chad. Hey, Prats and Gadapes. Hi, Mary. Hey, Stipix. Aldridges. Hey, Jen and Augie. Hey, Young Family. Hey, Sierra. Good morning, everybody. So I put several links in the description here. Make sure that you pull up the guide that's at the top of those links. I want to go ahead and just talk about a few other things as well very quickly. Where do I begin? First of all, go find a candle and have a candle and a lighter ready for the litany that Fran is going to lead us through here in a little bit. Lyle said putting up with Matt for 14 years. It's actually more like 15 and a half years she put up with me. But get a candle and get a lighter and have that handy for when Fran leads us in the third part of our service. Also, there's an announcement about signing up for the Dig Deeps. The first two have been incredible. Dr. Zuniga, Dr. Singletary, they've been fantastic. We'll have another one, part 2, this week with Dr. Singletary on the Enneagram. It was so good. What he led us through this past Thursday was so good. And the next week we have one on unlearning white supremacy, which, how apropos, how appropriate to the time we're living in right now. But you need to sign up so you can get the Zoom link, stuff like that. I put the link in the description. Sign up to that as well. Hey, Paul. What else is there? I put the donations link in there. As you know, we say it all the time. We are a member-supported community so that we can do this incredibly bold work that we're trying to do in the world and not be hindered and hampered by institutions that say, you can't say that kind of thing or we'll pull our funding. Well, you, the community, you are our funding, and you give us a platform to be able to say these kinds of things and do this kind of work. So please continue to support us. I think those are my big announcements. I wanted to mention today is the 99th anniversary of the destruction and massacre of what's known as Black Wall Street. If you've never read this story of what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921, I put a link there. Follow that link or go somewhere else and read about what happened to Black Wall Street in 1921 when a mob of white people destroyed and massacred what was this incredible Black community that deserved the title of Black Wall Street. This was a thriving financial center, so many other things, but go read that history. Today is the 99th anniversary of that. As you know, there are protests going on around our nation, happening here in Austin as well. And so I also put a link to the story about Mike Ramos, a local man, Black man that was killed by police. So that story hasn't made the kind of national headlines that I wish it had. So I put that there for us to just be aware of as well and grow in our learning about what's going on. I think those are the big pieces I wanted to mention this morning. Pull up the guide, get a candle, take a look at all of those links that I put in the description. I can't see them now. Am I forgetting? Let me know if I'm forgetting anything key that I put in the description. My dad grew up near Tulsa. He grew up in Oklahoma. Okay, I bet Brittany's got some keen insights about that story or about the context there. But please go everybody go read about this. And it's just interesting that today is the anniversary of what happened there. I want to do a children's sermon for our kiddos. And if you're looking at the guide and you've pulled it up, like I've mentioned 12 times now, then you will see that my kids' sermon is about protest FAQs for kids. So kiddos gather around and we're going to talk for just a moment here about protest. Give me a second while I pull that up. Okay, so you are probably hearing, kiddos, I hope you've gathered around now, kiddos, so I'm speaking to you right now. Your parents are certainly welcome to listen in. If your parents are, whispering to each other or talking, tell them, be quiet. No talking during church. This time is for me. So kiddos, you're probably hearing the grown-ups talk and you're seeing images about protest and about people marching and yelling at police officers. And all of this can be really scary. What is going on? This is happening all over our country. It's happening here in the Austin area. There's a few things I want to talk about. First, I want you to know that you are loved and you are safe. Your parents love you. You are their treasure. And we, the community of Peace of Christ, we want you to be healthy and safe. But also, we want you to know that you can use your God-given voice. That's what's going on here. So I want to answer just a few questions about protest. What are protests? Is it okay to protest? And how can you protest? So first, what are protests? Protests are when people come together and say, we don't like how our leaders are not doing their job to keep everyone safe and healthy. That's what a protest is. People come together and they say, leaders, you are not doing what you're supposed to do, not just to keep some of us safe and healthy, to keep all of us safe and healthy. This is the job of a leader, whether it's the president or a police officer. This is their job. And one way we tell them that they're not doing their job is we use our voices to say what things we want them to change. Like, remember in The Lion King when Simba comes back to Pride Rock after eating all those bugs with Timon and Pumbaa, he comes back and he and all the other lions, they join together and they tell Scar and the hyenas, it is time for things to change. That was a protest. They came together and they demanded changes. They came together to say to Scar and the hyenas, you cannot keep doing what you're doing. So how do we let our leaders know that they're doing a bad job at something? And we all do bad jobs. Parents do bad jobs sometimes. Presidents do. Police officers do. We all do because we're human. And we need to be told sometimes that we're doing that bad job. How does that happen? People protest. We use our voices that God gave us and our bodies and our big creative brains to figure out ways to tell them and to get the message through. So that's what protesting is. Number two, is it okay to protest? Yes, absolutely. Well, why might some people say it's bad? You're going to hear people say you shouldn't be protesting. They shouldn't be out on the streets. They shouldn't be gathering together. They shouldn't be yelling. You're going to hear people say that protesting is bad. Well, remember in The Little Mermaid when Ursula gets Ariel's voice and takes it from her and she can't speak? When someone tells you that you're not allowed to speak about the bad things that you see around you, or that you can only speak like they want you to speak, they're trying to be Ursula. They're trying to take your voice away from you. But God gave you a beautiful, strong voice, just like Ariel, the mermaid, and it is one of your most powerful tools to make this world more beautiful and more whole and more healthy, again, for everyone, not just some of us. So don't ever let anyone take your voice from you. If you don't use it and protest, who will? Who will stand up and speak? We need you to do that. And then number 3, how can you help protest? Take a look around your world. Look around. How can you make the world of tomorrow safer and better for all of us, not just some of us? Maybe that means you stand up for a friend or yourself at school or the park when they're not being treated with the kindness and the respect that all humans deserve. Maybe it means making signs that you stick in your front yard or you tape to your windows facing out so that you can say what you want to our world, like our world deserves love and safety and peace for everyone. And I want you to know that even you, little old you can make a difference. One or two people can change things. They absolutely can. Like Mike and Sully in Monsters Incorporated, where they changed the whole company and the whole city from using scream energy, remember, to what? To laugh energy, which it turns out is 10 times more powerful. Two little monsters did that. You, my little monsters, you can make incredible change like that. Or like Wally. Remember Wally? He got squished by Otto, the bad robot, but he helped all the humans return to Earth so they could plant their pizza seeds and grow pizza plants, remember? So little old Wally did that, an outdated robot. Or like Moana. Moana, who helps Taka return to being Te Fiti. But she had to be brave and strong and loving enough to do this. Even when all the grown-ups didn't believe in her and wouldn't stand by her, she stood up and protested how things were and made a change that changed the whole world. So my hope and my prayer is that God gives you, my friends, the strength and the creativity to help the world become safer and better, not just for some of us, but for all of us, right? One of the ways that you can do that is by protesting with your words and your body and your actions and using your big creative brain that God gave you to do that. It takes really, really brave people to do this, brave people of peace like you. So I invite you to please comment, tell your parents, or maybe get on the computer and add comments about what ideas you have about how you can protest in this world and how us grown-ups can help you do that and come alongside with you to do that. I didn't get to look at the comments here. I will look at them in a little bit, so keep adding them. And Pastor Aurelia is up next to tell us more about this and other amazing things on this wonderful day of Pentecost, which I forgot to mention as we're celebrating Pentecost. Okay, I love you all. Pastor Aurelia is next.